For a goalie, the biggest enemy is himself. Not a puck, not an opponent, him, said Ken Dryden in his book, The Game. The goaltender is the spine of the team, the backbone that can be the difference between a Stanley Cup or an early exit. In the human body, the spine leads up to the brain, which houses the mind. Depending on who you ask, consciousness is our greatest gift or our greatest curse. There are psychological characteristics and tools that separate the Boston Luongos from the Bubble Demkos. Some goaltenders are not the masters of their own mind. They feel the pressure and cracks form in their confidence, leading to more goals leaking through. Other goalies are like Buddhist monks in meditation. They can cultivate calm amidst chaos and find clarity against a flurry of shots. In this video, I will share psychological skills that elite goaltenders use and provide NHL examples. If you'd like to dive deeper into this topic, I have included footnotes in the description. The goaltending position is unique. They are the only player on the ice for the full 60 minutes. Essentially, they are on an island with only their equipment and thoughts. They are the last line of defense, so they must anticipate the play, track the puck, maintain their technique, and finally make a save. All of this, of course, requires effective concentration. Concentration can be broken down into two dimensions of focus, the first being width. There is broad width and narrow width. Broad refers to several stimuli at once, for example, reading the opposition's formation on a power play, and narrow refers to a single stimuli, like cueing in on a shooter as they wind up. The second dimension refers to direction, internal and external. Internal focus refers to the goalie's thoughts and feelings. Sometimes a goaltender can ruminate on past mistakes, and this can lead to a snowball effect. All we see as spectators are goal after goal. The other direction is external, referring to outward objects like the puck. So how do goaltenders improve their concentration on the ice and prevent mental lapses? One method a goalie can use is eye control. In this exercise, goaltenders give their full attention to the puck. They focus on its spin, its trajectory, its color, the little grooves around the edges, etc. It's like a form of meditation. Some of you may be familiar with staring at a blank wall in order to relax and collect your thoughts. When a goalie is feeling the pressure from the crowd or from the opposition, they may feel that they cannot control their thoughts. Being able to drown out those by focusing on tracking the puck can help them return to baseline. One goaltender that was legendary for his concentration was Dominik Hasek. In fact, a New York Times article even stated that he could probably bend spoons with his powers of concentration. In 1997, a public spat with Ted Nolan led to the firing of the Sabres coach. Fans took Nolan's side. They booed their own goaltender mercilessly, but Hasek was unfazed. He even set the NHL record with 7 shutouts in December, the most ever in a single month. His ability to block out the noise and perform was second to none, and the jeers from the Sabres fans turned into cheers. John Muckler, the Sabres GM, even stated, "I bet he doesn't even hear a sound when he's playing. That's how hard he concentrates." If you guys are enjoying this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 10,000 followers by the beginning of the next season, and I can do it with your help. Thank you. In a game, a goaltender must strike a delicate balance. If they are under-aroused, their ability to track the puck is compromised. If they are over-aroused, they are susceptible to breakdowns in their technique. Optimal performance requires managing arousal and can be found in the middle zone of this bell curve. Sometimes a goaltender may need to psych themselves up, while other times they may need to take a breath and relax. Not being able to manage anxiety during a game can be catastrophic. It leads to physiological changes in the body. The muscles tense up, technique goes out the window, and reaction time suffers. This leads to a drop in save percentage and an increase in goals against average. Earlier I spoke about concentration, and specifically broad and narrow attention fields. When a goalie is anxious, their attention field narrows. It becomes difficult to track opposition players on the ice, leading to backdoor plays, tap-ins, and more. So how do NHL goalies find this optimal level of arousal? Let's use Thatcher Demko as an example, and look at physiological arousal first. Demko's use of sniffing salts has become a thing of legend in Vancouver. These salts release ammonia, which trigger an inhalation reflex, which causes the muscles that control breathing to work faster by irritating the mucous membranes of the nose and lungs. These salts are of course useless without prior activation. Demko has a warm-up ritual which includes rotation drills designed by Ian Clark. These get him into an optimal arousal zone, but this video is on the psychology of goaltenders. How does Demko stay even keel psychologically? He is the perfect case study for this video. While at Boston College, he studied applied psychology, and with the Vancouver Canucks, he can be seen applying psychology in the crease. Judging by his body language, he never gets too high or too low. He has excellent emotional regulation, even when he lets in a poor goal. He doesn't show negative emotion, and he has been called as cool as a cucumber by his teammates. Earlier I mentioned his use of salts, and how they trigger the breathing muscles. My theory is that these salts help with the mental side of the game as well. They help with breath control, which increases relaxation. This relaxation reduces muscle tension, and helps athletes achieve physical and mental focus. On any given day, we speak to ourselves more than other people. Your mind is like a supercomputer and it's programmed by your internal dialogue. For goaltenders, each thought is like a line of code, and positive self-talk can optimize performance and efficiency. Goaltenders are on an island. They are isolated and talk to themselves in the crease. Even during TV timeouts, it's not uncommon to see the goaltenders skate to the bench and not say a single word to their teammates. Self-talk can be defined as overt, out loud, or covert in your head. It serves as instruction and motivation for athletes. The goal is to reduce your conscious control and work toward automatic action. Self-talk is an excellent method to reset mentally by reminding yourself of your capabilities. A 2002 study found that self-talk improved save percentage of Junior A goalies. What about the pinnacle of hockey, the NHL? The self-talk is always going on, stated Semyon Varlamov. That's how you recover from a bad goal. That's how you try to stay focused during the game. Antti Ranta found inspiration in the Disney film Frozen. More specifically, the song Let It Go. After a bad goal, he reminds himself to let it go and focus on making the next save. These cues are not always verbal. Many goaltenders have phrases stitched into their gloves. Corey Schneider had "Don't fear failure" stitched into his blocker. I guess he forgot to stitch it into his Devil's gear. Former Canuck prospect Michael DiPietro had a simple ABC stitched into his blocker, which stood for Be Aware, Breathe, Choose. This prevented his focus from drifting in high-pressure environments. Known as the central pillar of applied sports psychology, imagery is the process of creating or recreating an experience in the mind. Goaltenders can visualize themselves succeeding in challenging areas, which builds belief in their abilities. Goalies in this regard are like psychics, peering into the crystal ball of their mind's eye, foreseeing the twists and turns of the game yet to unfold. During the game, goaltenders can use imagery to correct errors in their technique. After a bad goal, they can visualize themselves making a big save and return to a baseline level of confidence. Like the other tools I have shared, this is a skill that needs to be practiced to be effective. The visualization can take place the night before, the morning of, during the pre-game skate, warm-up, and even during the game. In order to be fully effective, the goaltender must incorporate all 5 senses, including the smell of a fresh sheet of ice, the feeling of the puck hitting their pad, and the roar of the crowd after making a save. In 2011, Roberto Luongo was thrust into action after Corey Schneider stole his crease in Game 6. The Canucks lost and were forced to play a Game 7 after blowing a 3-0 series lead. Luongo had 48 hours to refocus, and after the game day skate, he went on his famous walk around the Vancouver seawall. This walk helped him lock in for the game later that evening, which the Canucks won 2-1 in overtime. Luongo was marvelous, making 31 saves, including this shorthanded shot by Sharp. This performance probably saved the team's core from being dismantled in the offseason. The rebuild would have been on. So what did Luongo do when he was on this walk? He has never revealed the truth other than saying that he listened to music. He said that he was trying to get into the zone, which could mean that he used visualization techniques. He had prior success in big games that he could reflect on. In the very same arena just a year earlier, he led Canada to Olympic gold. I believe he mentally revisited this game and used it to build his confidence going into Game 7. He visualized the crowd chanting "Lou" every time he made a save. He visualized his technique, crafted over years of practice. And finally, he probably visualized the Canucks coming out on top. That's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers.